Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our wrap. We're doing a wrap up of 2000.
Of 2023 is how you say it, I think.
2023. I really actually forgot what.
Of 2023.
It worried me that wasn't exactly the year it was.
Welcome to Scary Mystery Surprise,
where we talk about scary things that surprised us around the internet.
I'm Edwin.
I'm Michelle. Anyway, we're doing a wrap-up of our favorite episodes of 2023.
Yay, surprise.
Yay, surprise. Surprise. So we can revisit some of our favorites and read comments from our listeners.
Yeah, we're going to go through some of the favorite stuff and some of your favorite stuff, which is...
Yeah, and, show our appreciation and our love to our listeners.
Yes. Yeah, no, seriously though, like, no joke here. I'm seeing that wrapped from Spotify, it didn't, I don't know, but for me, I was like, oh wow, people are actually listening to us. Like, should we start with the episodes then?
I guess. I don't know how we're going to structure it. It's our first wrapped, guys, so we're going to wing this.
We're going to mess it up.
But let's start with our third favorite episode. We'll do the number one as the big reveal.
Ready?
One of my favorite episodes that we've done, Foot of the Sea. It's August 20th, 2007. Imagine a cold gray day on a rocky beach. You thought it was going to be nice because it's August, but joke's on you because it's the Northwest and it's just a gray sky meeting a gray sea and just an endless void of gray. Did the sun rise today? You'll never know. Imagine the sound of a ferry boat and seagulls in the distance. A 12-year-old girl is playing at the beach. Between the rocks and the driftwood, she spots a shoe. It's blue and white. It's a running shoe, men's size 12. She looks inside. She sees a sock. Inside that sock, she finds a decomposing foot. Ooh, about feet just floating around in the Northwest.
Literally, that's what
it's what it is. But I don't think there's any comments for that episode because it was before Spotify was doing comments. But it's still one of my personal favorites because it was like a true crime, like one of my intros to weird tales. And I remember being like watching the news stories on the news and being like, oh, they found another foot. like it was just becoming a thing where people were just finding feet a lot.
Yeah, and I had no idea that was a thing until you mentioned it. Then I started really noticing it.
Re-listen to it because it is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, listen to her third favorite.
My third favorite.
Foot of the Sea.
Yeah, Foot of the Sea. The beautiful feet that set sail on the sea. Feet that disarticulate from dead bodies and float because of the way shoes are made. Anyway, number 3.
Number 3 for me. Fairies that replace humans.
You, Edwin. Your neighbor in the village has just had a baby. It's pretty cute. Everyone's really ooey gooey over it. But oh no, not you. You're like, ew, gross, ew, ew. What a gross little potato.
Fitting for Ireland.
Oh, it's a gross little potato boy. Baby envy is bad, and it puts that baby at risk. And at risk of what, you say? Getting the attention of the Irish fairies. And if you do that, well, that baby could become what the Irish call a changeling.
Ooh. Oh, that's how you pronounce that?
Yeah,
oh,
changeling.
I don't know why I thought of changeling.
No, I think it's just changeling.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one was a creepy. I'm afraid of, witches and stuff like that, like all these elementals type of thing. That thing just creeped me out. So that takes the cake. Let me see if we have comments on there. Oh, and this is a good one with a comment here. Wicked Wendigo says, not the toilet. I've got to re-listen to it because I remember.
Wait, what were we talking about? Not the
I
toilet.
gotta re-listen to it. I feel so bad for you, Michelle. Amazing episode. Oh.
Oh, because my toilet. Oh, okay. So, because that plumber came and smashed the toilet, and then the pee leaked everywhere. His pee leaked everywhere.
His pee because he didn't flush.
He didn't flush. Oh God. Oh wow. I'd forgotten about that, but that was a nightmare.
And then it says, amazing episode, best podcasters to ever walk the face of this earth. Okay, that's
thanks,
very
Wicked
nice.
Wendigo.
Yeah, wow.
I know,
Best
that's very
podcasters
sweet.
to ever walk the face of the earth.
Wow, I can't believe I forgot that toilet thing. But now I have such a functional toilet that once a toilet is functional, you never think about it again.
That's how it should be. Yeah, you shouldn't have to think about the toilet.
Well, and then Maddie said it was fucking hilarious. So thank you, Maddie. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and creepy. I was creeped out. It was funny and it was creepy to me. Like, I think that's what made it. So I like it. Cool. Number 2
was the turkey witch.
So, although the legend says she can transform into any animal, even to like a roach or a fly or a flea or whatever. Well, here's the thing. She needs to perform a ritual in order for it to happen. So, what is it? Capulin wood from a cherry tree, copal, tree resin, agave roots, and dry zoapotle leaves. It's like a small yellow flowered shrub. Once she has the fire going and the ingredients ready, she walks over to the fire 3 times. First, from north to south, and then from east to west. And then she sits on the fire.
Like ass first, or like...
I guess so, yeah. It's just like blop.
How big is the fire?
I don't know. Like I'm assuming it's like a decent sized campfire. It has to be large enough for it to look powerful and evil.
Oh, I mean, like, can she put it out with her ass?
No, that's a good question. We should ask historians.
Or what's the real name for it? What's the real name for the episode?
It's called like the witch that could turn
really
into
clickbaited that. You really clickbaited that hard.
Eat your children or something.
Yeah, it's like witch that eats your children, but also turns into a turkey. What's the Mexican name? what's the real name?
Pucci, I think.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah. There we go. The witch that could turn into a turkey and eat your kid.
Let's see if there's any comments on this. Monster97 says, "You two always crack me up. I love it." Smiley emoji. Oh, there's a few things. Okay. And then Yoda237 says, "Witches are real." I think we're all in that camp, is that witches are real. But thank you for your comment.
Yeah, thanks, Yoda.
And then Maribiv. Weird and terrifying and funny. Edwin and Michelle are hysterically hilarious. Thank you, Edwin and Michelle, for making this show funny. P.S. Edwin, I absolutely love your other podcasts.
Yay! Thank you, Mary Viv. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
From Edwin and Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts. But yeah, I like Turkey Witch because I'd never heard it before. And it was so... I'd never heard of that story before, and it was so weird. All right, time for your...
Number 2.
Number 2.
You Are Average Beautiful. Japanese ghost stories.
There's nothing unusual about this woman. She's walking towards you, and she has her mask on. And you're just, doing your thing, singing your little song down the... I mean, you seem like the weirdo here.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Then you hear, "Am I beautiful?" And you're like, excuse me. You don't think you heard right. It's just you and her on the street. But then, again, "Am I beautiful?" Or maybe more like, "Am I beautiful?" And you answer, because you're confused, "Sure? Maybe this will get that weird woman away from you?" Slowly, takes off her mask, revealing that her mouth has been slit open from ear to ear. Blood dripping from her elongated mouth. Am I beautiful? And you're like, yes, you scream. Just like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yes.
And she pulls out a pair of scissors and slices your mouth from ear to ear to match her scars. You lay on the street, bleeding to death, because the wounds caused by Kichisake Onna can never be healed. Ooh, that was a good one. That one was good. Yeah. Very freaky. That one I'd say maybe on the freakier side of the whole year, honestly.
Yeah, and then she says, "Watashi kirei?" And then that means, am I pretty or am I beautiful?
Wow. You did a good Japanese accent there. That was good. Wow, is this your talent?
You know how to add some Japanese song in there.
Yeah, now you know how to do Japanese accents? That was good.
Imagine I just start doing overdubs, like just I dub my own shows
to anime Japan. Career.
And it's all wrong. Oh man, for that one, we have Mandy Gonzalez here in the comments from You Are Average Beautiful. I could not stop laughing, but I did get chills too because these stories were creepy. You know, Mandy comments and she supports the shows across the board. So huge shout out, Mandy.
Yeah, huge shout out to Mandy. We recognize your name and lots of love from us.
Yes. I'm doing the heart sign with my hands.
He is, I can vouch.
The Night Guard says the This Is Halloween got me, dude. I can't. We actually have several comments on here.
Yeah, this one got some love.
You guys are awesome. I love listening to your podcast. It's a perfect balance of comedy and horror, and I love it. That's by Diz.
Thank you, Diz.
Oh man, I love Japanese ghost stories. This is probably my favorite episode. Hey, well, it was my second favorite, so you win because it's
Thank you, Haiku.
Joe G806 says, "Love the episode." Let me see. Jillian says, "I'm always at the gym when I'm listening to you guys and you make me laugh too much, so I lose my grip sometimes." You got to be careful. You can't lose your grip when you have like 50 or 300 pounds on top of you.
And as someone who has also been on a treadmill and flown off a treadmill, it's also... Yes, I did that freaking cartoon thing of like misstepping and going like... I think my body jammed on the railing or whatever, but the guy next to me had to pull the emergency stop.
You're supposed to clip the emergency thing to yourself in case that happens.
I know. And now I have an ongoing fear of treadmills because I'm always scared I'm going to misstep and shoot off the back again. It's
justified. I don't blame you. Yeah.
But yeah, the guy had to save my life. Whoever he was. Thank you, weird guy at the gym.
Is the meat cute? Right there.
It wasn't quite that. There's not a lot of being hit on when you could you imagine like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like there was no concern or anything like that. It was just like, "Oh, this woman flew off the back of the treadmill."
Did you jump back on?
I think I must have to like just try and save my dignity or something. But I don't know. Maybe I hit my head because I don't really remember.
Moral of the story: be careful.
Yeah. Moral of the story: watch out at the gym, especially if you're laughing at our episodes.
Oh man. Okay. Moment of truth here.
Ooh. Okay. Moment of truth. Number one favorite episode we've done. Origins, our childhood stories.
When I was 7 years old, I took a trip to Mexico with my parents to visit family. And that's when I started discovering cable TV, because I didn't have cable at home. So Nickelodeon with all those shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark? Hey Arnold, it was great. But programming wouldn't be the same at my grandpa's house. You normally stay at my grandpa's house, and they had the state run, the regular signals. Anyway, there was this one thing that really creeped me out. I don't know exactly what it was, and I try to find it. So if anybody else can find it and is good at this Google searching stuff, to help me out. But I can't find it. It was this type of commercial or announcement from the channel. And it was like this mime type of thing, but it wasn't a face. Imagine this, right? It's a sound of like a type of sound, like a something like that. The thing is, there are two gloves on the screen, like two gloves, like with the 5 fingers, they're gloves, not like boxing gloves, but like regular gloves. Behind them, there's just darkness, nothing. There's no arms, no hands, nothing, just gloves, empty gloves making hand gestures. And they're just like shaking hands, bumping fists, walking, slapping each other like with the index finger. And it wouldn't say anything, just silence in that. And I remember telling my cousins, like, what is that? Like, what? And they were like, oh, los guantes, like the gloves. And everybody was afraid of them. But nobody knew what they, like, they had a message. Like, I'm sure there was some announcement or something on it, but I used to hate it. And my parents would be like, oh, if you do this, the gloves are going to come get you. And I would be so freaked out. Yeah, it would be like, I would imagine them walking along the bed. It was like the creepiest thing you could imagine.
It's creeping me out.
Yeah, and it would come on at night. I would run. That thing would pop up, and I would run out of the room. Like, it was that bad to me. And it was kind of like a joke sometimes. It's just you run, but you run because it's scary, and you run with everybody. But I was actually scared of it. I was like, oh my. And I remember thinking, I'm going to have a nightmare. And I did. I would have nightmares of all those things. If you share one of yours with me, like, I'll tell you how that relates to my next one.
Ooh, okay. One of my top fears as a child was Michael Jackson.
I spit on my screen.
Edwin just spit up, everybody.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good one because we shared a lot of our internal fears. And I think we bonded as well. It was a bonding episode. Yeah, it was definitely, you found out I was scared of rats and then did an episode on rats, which was rude.
A full episode. Not just a little story, but like a full episode.
A full episode. Yeah, what are they? It's funny once you talk about them, they kind of go away, except for Michael Jackson.
Right?
Yeah.
It gets worse.
It's just gotten worse and worse. I just don't like that all of a sudden that's a thing now where he's just floating around on the internet with his mugshot and they're just going hee
You could imagine just like, you know how he used to do that thing when he would sing? He would be like
yeah, that
that
yeah. Well, that gave me chills. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for your favorite?
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite episode, number 1. All right, we'll be right back.
Perfect timing. Okay, we're back.
I used to hate it when they did that in like American Idol and all that.
Oh yeah, of course. It's just like, let's drag it out as long as we can.
My number 1 episode and favorite. Getting cursed by a real haunted doll. We're going to get... Well, I looked through a bunch of categories on the haunted items, right? So on eBay. This is straight from eBay. Because Michelle told me, I'm so thankful for this. She told me that they sell haunted items on eBay. And I didn't know. And then...
all I do is educate. It figures.
There were a couple things that I liked about it. A couple things. One of them is that the format of it was a little bit different. It was like we lived it, like we were there, and then it involves so much stuff, like just getting the doll sent out, voting on what it was supposed to be, because it could have been a picture, it could have been some other haunted thing, and it turned out to be a doll, which Then all the effects that came out of it and the theories that were surrounding it. People were actually commenting. We got a lot of comments on that episode.
I mean, someone at a party just commented. She was like, Edwin's poking the bear. Like, why did Edwin want to buy that doll? And I'm like, look, I don't know.
For the content. We're doing it for the
content. And I had to spend so long looking to make sure that was not going to be a harmful doll. And you still had a bunch of problems.
Yeah. And people were saying, actually, there's some comments on here that's mentioned that it might have been the other doll, the one that I got at the antique shop, that might have been acting up because,
Yeah, she wants to be your one and only.
I mean, dogs do that. I can imagine kind of like that. Like, do you ever been petting a dog and then another one comes by and they're like trying to push the other one out of the way?
It headbutts the other dog out of the way. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I imagine the dolls behaving around me. But they don't move because they're dolls.
These dolls are fighting over you. Fighting over your attention.
I'm just petting them. Like,
I don't know what you do in your personal time, Edwin, but...
I don't know why. This is really creepy and you're going to find me really weird for this, but I imagine like she already has a name and it'd be weird for me to name someone that already has a name.
Well, maybe you should ask her name. Have you ever thought of asking her name? Because it seems like that might be what isn't, the next step.
I get a weird vibe name, like a weird Bethanine or Bethamin, something like that in my head, but I've never heard the name in real life, so I don't know if it exists or like it just needs to
Bethany?
Get cleared.
That exists.
Oh, that's right. No, something like that. I mean, it might be Bethany because it has that like
Elizabeth.
Kind of like Elizabeth, but not. I don't know.
Bess.
It's like a B name. Like,
once again, I think you need to ask it. I think you need to have a lot of one-on-one time with your dolls.
That sounds so weird, but yes,
some
you're
weird
right.
Therapy counseling sessions with your dolls and you to work some stuff out.
I think I'm gonna need some therapy though. If people hear what I'm doing with dolls over here, they're gonna recommend me.
It was just petting the doll. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
BetterHelp, are you listening? I'm coming. Yeah, and this year when I was looking through Spotify Wrapped, I found that we are in the top 10 podcasts for 1,328 fans.
What? That's so crazy.
We're in their top 10, which is amazing. We're in their top 5 of 780 people. We're top 5.
We love you guys. You're our core base.
And out of the top, we're like the top number 1 show of 134 people.
Dude, you guys, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is amazing. So I can't complain here.
No, that's great.
It also shows you how much Scary Mystery Surprise has grown in this year. We're up 293% of listeners, so we more than doubled. That's
fantastic. Well, I mean, it's our first full year.
Yeah, that's true. True. We also made, obviously, more minutes of audio. We have 1,000 minutes created of audio. Can you believe that?
That's a back catalog. We've done it. It's like, that is a back catalog of stuff. If you need more, go back and listen to our back catalog.
Yeah. Go. And yeah, that's, also they have the top episode of the year, which is the most listened to episode of all time, or like of whenever we published it, but of this year, like as in what they listened to this year. Uh-huh. And it happened to be.
What is it? Tell me.
You thought I froze? Okay. Top episode of the year. A Wild Time with the Ghosts of Bobby Mackey's.
I don't believe it.
And the reason why, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's because it's the first one.
That is not our most solid episode. That is absolutely our first episode. We're still figuring stuff out. So, yeah. I mean, I guess if you guys want to hear us figure stuff out, I think we hit our stride with prank calling. I think that's when we started to really hit our stride.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean that's been this year. And then what do we have going on for next year?
I don't know, but I think it'll be full of surprises.
It will. Woo! We'll see you guys 2024.
See you in 24.
Let's keep it going.